A background in automotive, I think, opens a lot of doors. You could be a service writer, you could sell parts, you could be a mechanic, you could even teach if you wanted to. My name is Stephanie, and this is my life as an automotive technician. I grew up and I went to school in Waller County. My mother was a single mother. There was this one time my mother was volunteering on the ambulance crew and found out that the firefighters were going to set a car on fire and practice putting it out. And she asked, could she have the car? And we drove that around for years. High school was kind of hard. It wasn't that easy for me. I did take an automotive class while I was there, and I had a lot of fun in that. But as a general student, I wasn't really good. I thought I might want to be a nurse, and I signed up at the local community college, and my first two classes were an English writing class and a world civilization class. Like I said, I wasn't a very good student, and I really hated it. I left. Several years had passed, and I had my son, and I knew to provide for him better than I had it. I needed a job that was secure, that was a career that I could grow in. And so I had taken that automotive class in high school, and it had really appealed to me at the time. So I found out about Lincoln Technical Institute out in Fort Worth, and they had no problem signing me up, and I did real good. I received a certificate in my field, and so it was 12 months, and each month was a different class. I took automatic transmissions one month, and then the next one would be the engine, tearing that down. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it a lot. I just immediately went out and started to get a job. I thought now that I had my education and my little tools, I was going to be a mechanic. And I started out doing oil changes and tire rotations. And so I would get frustrated and leave. And so I bounced around to a few different companies before I finally got to Toyota and realized they told me I had to do oil changes and tire rotations too, so I realized, okay, you have to work up. And so I've been with Toyota ever since, and I've worked up since then to be a line mechanic like I wanted to be. Toyota's really good about training. So they're like, online, you have a username and a password, and we'd like you to complete these training classes online. It taught you generally about Toyotas and the equipment they use, and so I did all of those because I knew that to progress up the ladder, I needed to complete those. I got to be an apprentice to another mechanic, and that's when I started to get ASC certifications. And since then, I've become a mechanic. Toyota also sent me to instructor-led classes, which were good. I generally deal with used cars, trying to figure out what all they need and get them ready to be sold. I also, though, sporadically get customer complaints when their radio stops working, their Bluetooth, door locks don't work. I get smaller problems because I just started, but it's still really good. The basis to diagnose any car is to hook up the computer and see what's going on in the car's computer. I work alone, but there's so many guys around me that if I have any issues, they're all really helpful. It can be frustrating when you first get out of school because you have to start, like I said, changing oil and doing tire rotations. It's just the way that is, and a lot of people may get frustrated with that, but I would encourage them to stick with it and work up. They really will notice your hard work, and you really will start climbing up the ladder. I would tell them that even if they didn't like high school, even if they weren't a good student and they're really glad to be out of school, that there are technical schools out there that are short-term. You can do hands-on work. You'd only be in it for a year, and you would come out with a certificate for that field. The job at Toyota has really been life-changing because I've been able to do things with my son that I wasn't able to do when I was younger. We visited every single place around where I live, the trampoline parks, the movie theaters, the good restaurants. We visited everywhere. When parents say to their child that they would like them to go to college, it's not so much about the college, it's about they want their child to have a good and successful life and provide for their family and be good members of society. And you can absolutely do that with a technical school education, and it can be a long career for you. What are you up for?